Alright, I'm back. DK Damn Fine Shave, the channel that keeps it golden 500. No BS, just BBS. Alright, we got some black coffee today as the shaverage. We got our TRC coffee mug. It's from a local roaster, Aventura coffee. Some medium roast, crap. Or not crap, it's good shit. Notes of dark chocolate, nougat, and graham cracker, or so they say. Let's see how they did. Alright, not bad. Yeah, you definitely get a little bit of that like subtle bready sweetness from the graham cracker. I don't know, the nougat might be mixed in there somewhere, but I do get a little bit of lingering bitterness from the dark chocolate. I quite like that. But yeah, not a bad cup. Let's get into the shave. Today, we're using Zingari Man's the Gypsy, and you can see this has the jank-ass tin lid. This is some old school stuff from Zingari Man. This might be from the very beginning of Zingari Man, even though Heather, was already making soaps under another business name before that. But yeah, so the Gypsy, got the directions, the side label. Even back then, she had, pretty good labeling. Even the, batch number and everything. You can see how far her soap base has came. Pretty humble soap base right there. Got the tin that, has a few dings, but who the fuck cares? It's a lid. You don't shave with the lid. It's a quite firm soap base, but not so firm you can't put a dent in it. And this stuff smells great. The scent notes on the top are citrus, cucumber, and pineapple. I think the pineapple is probably the most prominent out of those three. And there's probably more going on. Maybe some light florals dancing in the background. The citrus is very bright. The pineapple is very bright. It's not overly sweet. It's kind of like a mellow sweetness. And I think that's probably because the cucumber kind of mellows things out, also keeping it bright. Simple scent, casual wear, not cologne or anything like that. But it's a good one. I've always liked this one. All right, let's move on to the lather. We got this 3D printed shave bowl, USPS themed. This was a gift from Marion, so he got the dark blue, light blue bowl there. Kind of hard to see, but there's nice ridges in the bottom. Real nice ridges, actually, to the point where it's kind of hard to get all the soap out. That's my one gripe about this bowl. But other than that, those ridges help whip up a killer lather. You can see here we got a nice soft curl right there. Very well hydrated lather. And this is let me get the coin orientated, the Viking shave brush right here. It's got this nice olive wood, I think it was. It's amazing how much you forget when you take a hiatus and you aren't repeating these things all the time. But wood base, got a nice yellow resin handle. It's going to be a very yellow shave. And then on top, we got the hand-tied knot from Strike Gold Shave, Badger knot. So good stuff there. Let's go ahead and wet the face. And we will get going. I hope everybody's been well. This shave video number 2 since my hiatus. This one, hopefully get to talk a little bit more about what's been going on. So I had that little beer fest the other day that I was talking about during my previous shave video, and that went well. The weather wasn't really on our side. It was windy the whole time. It had spots of rain and then spots of sunshine. It was the rain came and went as the clouds blew over, and the sunshine came and went. So, very moody weather. But the event itself saw some real good improvements from previous years. A lot more seating, a lot more musical acts, and the musical acts were pretty good overall. Different genres and whatnot. So yeah, I was pretty pleased with the beers and the improvements that the festival made itself. But yeah, I just wish the weather was on our side. But I got to hang out with friends and have good beer, and it's kind of hard to have a bad time when you have good beer around. So we made the best of it. I hope you guys had a good weekend as well. This soap base, even though it's old, I mean, it was good for its time, and honestly, it's still good now. The thing is that we got to remember as new soap bases come out left and right, and after you've been in the game for so long and you've laid witness to so many improvements, you got to remember that if you were able to get a BBS shave with no irritation, 5 years ago with this shit, then you should have no problem getting a BBS shave with no irritation today. You got to kind of stay humble and remember that it's not the soap base that's getting you a good shave. It helps, but that's not the point. It's you. It's your technique. You got to remember that. All right. The razor we're using today is this Schick Easy Rider. Don't use this one a whole lot, to be honest. This one kind of gives me problems. Like it's like I don't know. I always end up with like irritation. We're gonna give it a shot anyways. After I just got done, don't blame the tools or whatever. This one isn't in flawless condition. It does have a few dings, but I wanted an Easy Rider, so I bought an Easy Rider. It kind of has like a dark spot right there. I don't know if it touched like a curling iron or something. Anyways, not in the best condition, but as long as that blade clamping is right, the blade's not in a weird, funky position, we'll be all right. As long as it holds the blade down firm and straight, then we can get a shave out of it. And that don't really feel bad at all right there. It's weird because I think it's kind of like a mild efficiency. Razor. I think it definitely feels mild, even though there's kind of a low blade feel. It definitely feels mild and non-threatening. And maybe that, lulls me into thinking I can apply more pressure when it's not necessary. But either way, I have had some, issues with this one over the years. I really love the look of the damn thing. I think the yellow handle is super attractive. But just got to work out the kinks with this one. They don't got a whole hell of a lot of different Schick Injector blades that I can choose from. Although, in my other Schick Injectors, the blades is kind of the least of the problem. I do like the Schick Injector blades that we have available to us. I either use the supply blades, the Chinese-made Schick Chinese-made Schick blades, or the Schick B20s, I believe. They all work really good for me. I almost thought that pass was over, completely ignoring the sideburns and top of the beard. Yeah, that feels good. If you hear that like background noise, I don't know how much my camera's picking up. Lemmy Winks is playing with her her ball down here. I should say her and Courage are fighting over the ball down here. The pups are doing well, if you're interested. Yeah, soap base is doing great for being, you know, pretty simplistic compared to today's standards anyhow. And this Schick's a little bit different, how it has these kind of like extra support pieces, I can only guess. Or maybe it's to keep the blade more engaged, but it has like these little knobs underneath the comb there. That's not in all Schicks. Like here's the Type F, it doesn't have those. You can kind of see the difference there. Yeah, so a little bit different there, but it doesn't bother anything. I know a lot of people say, you know, I don't like using Schicks because the, you know, if you have a lot of growth or whatnot, they say that it doesn't rinse out very well. And, you know, to that, I say if your lather doesn't rinse out very well, it's probably not hydrated very well. You know, the only time my lather doesn't rinse out easily is when my lather's underhydrated. Like, I could probably shave the whole face without rinsing my Schick Injector, and then go to rinse it, and it'll you know, come out clean if my lather is well hydrated. Because you got to think about it, if your lather's well hydrated and you're sloshing it around in the water to rinse out, you know, the buildup, it's just going to wash away. Like the Home Like Shaving Start razor, which is a DE razor, but it doesn't have any lather channels on the underside of the bottom part of the cap, or does that make sense? The underside of the cap. It doesn't have any lather channels whatsoever. So, you know, you would, you know, think, oh, well, that's not gonna, there's a hair that came. Oh, I was gonna say that came out of the brush, but that's one of my hairs, never mind. My bad, Frank. Anyhow. Yeah, and that one doesn't have any lather channels, and it rinses out the water just fine, or the buildup from the razor just fine. So, you gotta, oh, going against the grain. Just hydrate your lather. Shouldn't have no problems. Don't blame the Schick for your shitty lather. There we go. It's a pretty good line anyways. Other than that, I've been talking more with community members, interacting more with community members, catching the replay on Sloppy Badger's morning shaves. I watched Sibling Sense a little bit the other day on Instagram, and that was real fun. I think I went on my hiatus like before Sibling Sense really started coming around as a duo there. And make sure all this is getting on camera. I'm blind, so I like to lean forward towards the mirror. Been interacting with Marion the Barbarian. One of my old buddies from, I would say, my class of wet shaving. And it was really great seeing all y'all that commented the other day. too many for me to remember, but seeing all y'all in the comments after such a long hiatus is really, reassuring, in some ways, but it's just really nice that, I could still get a little bit of interaction after being gone for so long. So that was really cool. Really appreciate everybody who left a comment. It's only been 2 days and I'm back at it, so what does that tell you? And also, I've been shaving like once a week, so this is my second time in a week. We're making, baby steps here. But the motivation is definitely there. If nothing else, you know what I mean? And this Against the Grain pass has felt alright. It's not the most comfortable. I'm trying to be mindful of being with a light touch. I don't know, there's something about, like, the head. It must be something about the way that the head is designed compared to other Schicks, because it just doesn't feel as comfortable. Whereas other Schicks, like the Type F, Type G, they're super comfortable for me. Type J, obviously, Golden 500. I don't want to overdo it. There's a little weeper right there. I don't want to overdo it. That should be close, though. If nothing else, that'll be a damn fine shave. I don't want to introduce more irritation by chasing the dragon. Yeah, it definitely feels like a DFS. Not so much PBS. Although, surprisingly close on the Adam's apple. It's more, where my other my other hair swirls are. But not too bad. Not too bad, actually. Let's go ahead and rinse off real quick. Just dip my hands. I talked to Lathered Yeti. I think it's Chris, I believe. And if not, I'm so sorry. I really need to connect more names with faces as I get back into the community. Like I said earlier, it's amazing how much you forget when you fuck off for a year plus. Got the Lancaster Razorworks Black Sheep Tallow, not tallow, Black Sheep Towel in yellow. Although I'd be down for some Lancaster Razorworks tallow. I'm sure he'd refine it really well. That lingering bright pineapple on the Gypsy, super enjoyable. All right. I'll get the rest of the lather and everything out of the beard afterwards. I don't do no cuts on these videos, and I sure as hell ain't gonna do no advanced editing. So this is what my aftershave routine's gonna look like here. We got the matching aftershave balm from Zingari Man, and we got Holy Cause aftershave toner in Cedrati, which is a dupe of Cedra Boise, or Cedra Bois, or whatever the fuck, cologne, and that one smells real good. Also has a piney note, a little bit more woodsy though, but a great cologne scent for spring, summer, year round really. Anyways, that's what the aftershave routine is going to look like. Let's go ahead and shake this up and get some on. I'm just going to do a squirt and a half, because the first one, this hasn't been used in a while, so got to kind of get that first one out of there and get some actual product on the second one. Just gonna do a swipe across the cheeks, swipe across the neck. Get that in. And I know my skin is gonna love that. Even though it's heating up in central Washington, this aftershave balm is quite light. So it'll soak right in really quickly and not feel heavy or greasy or anything like that. Anyhow, guys, thank you guys for watching once again. Hopefully I can keep this up, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.